In the next few minutes, I'll share with you the deeper reason behind me getting addicted to toxic relationships. And at the end, I'll tell you what I ended up doing, the one big thing I needed to do that broke me out of this addiction. So if you've been watching any of my videos, I've told you that I'm 3 years out of a 3-year toxic marriage. Very glad to be out of that. And if you're a person who's on your way out of a toxic relationship or have exited a toxic relationship, congratulations to you. But like I was saying, there was a deeper reason for me becoming addicted to toxic relationships in the first place. And I just have to go back in time to just in my early 20s, and this is over a decade ago. And very brief story, I remember going out on a date with a young fella, and he, to this day, I would say was the one that got away. He was a gentleman, and I was very rude to him, and that was because I was dealing with these deeper, darker issues within me that I had not addressed. And so just feeling like a failure after that obviously did not work out because I was so rude and disrespectful to him. I became a workaholic. So yes, I just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. So as a result of working all the time, guess what never happened? I never really worked on relational skills. So on down the years, as I interacted with more men, the first boyfriend I ever had, I know I was very rude and just disrespectful toward him, and he didn't deserve it either. And after him, I ran into what I would call my first situationship with a guy who was years older than me, and he definitely took advantage of me being naive and younger than him. And that was where the toxic addiction to toxic relationships began. So me working, obviously I thought that was going to, get me out of trouble as far as relationships were concerned, but it actually got me into a lot more trouble. And so I thought to myself, what in the world is happening here? Why does it seem like I keep running into one toxic relationship after another? And what it was doing is pulling me away from reflecting within, which is what I needed to do. And it is hard work. Since then, obviously, I've been through therapy over time, and this is why I have more insight today. But there was also something very important that I needed to do as well, and that was cut out all this working I was doing. I mean, I became a straight up workaholic, and not only the fact that I was avoiding working on skills that I need to work on, like relational skills, communication skills, I'm up here at the same time wearing myself out, exhausting myself, and becoming more and more resentful and more bitter in my day-to-day life. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I doing this to myself? I don't even need to do this to myself. So I'm in a place today currently where I do not work a ton of jobs, and I'm much more in peace than I have ever been. And guess what also wore off? This desire to be stuck with someone in some type of toxic relationship, because I was avoiding my own problems the entire time. And so I've worked on myself more, addressed more of my issues more, and I feel much more clear-headed. And so whatever reason I felt back then when I worked so much that made me think that I needed the toxic individuals that I allow myself to link up with in the past, well, all of that is gone now. But a huge part of that was letting go of this need to work all the time, and it was really not advancing my life. It was hurting me more than anything. So I don't know if that's been your experience, but keep that in mind. I would highly recommend doing some type of self-reflection if you haven't already been doing that. But if you have been doing that, congratulations. Keep up the great work. And if you're interested in signing up for a call with me to just talk out your own concerns, your own story, I'm more than happy to listen. Just check out the link in the description, and I look forward to chit-chatting with you all on the next video.